Hi, I'm Mike McCormick, live from GBTA Studios here in Toronto, and I'm here with Sherry Marshall, the Senior Manager of Travel, Meetings, and Card Services for PwC. Welcome, Sherry.
Good morning, Mike.
So you're doing an ed session here at the event this afternoon, focused on using ShareShift to drive hotel program improvement. So talk a little bit about that. In this day and age, what do buyers focus on? What are kind of best practices around ShareShift?
Yeah, I think this is something you could really achieve now because we have data more than ever and the technology to kind of support that. I've always in the past found it very challenging to even kind of evaluate my hotel program and see where I can move things just because we didn't have the data that we really needed. And now with many suppliers such as TripBand, the data that we're getting is very valuable and very powerful for us, and it really points out to us where the opportunities are in our program.
So are companies really at a point where, basically capturing literally all of your data is really about all your activity in hotels is possible?
It is possible.
Yeah.
When you look at these kind of reporting that is available nowadays, you look at your card spend, your expense spend, you really have all the data at your fingertips, and really is very useful to managing that.
And I know, more companies are at least experimenting with and looking at dynamic pricing in the hotel world as a part of the way that they look at their portfolio buying. Is that really, does this help accelerate, the program, dynamic pricing, doing alternate forms of pricing other than the traditional RFP process?
Yes, it's been very helpful in that. For me, I found that really what I needed was more of a hybrid approach.
Right.
So still doing the RFP for those really big spend hotels, the chain-wide discounts for really small volume, but then looking at the dynamic pricing for that kind of in-between spend.
Right, all the kind of the meat of the program, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So that's kind of the approach that I've been taking. And then another thing is I have a huge focus on project rates. So field projects are often, you hear about it way after it starts, and we've really tried to get in front of the projects and help and have shown our internal stakeholders the value that we can bring when we're brought in from the beginning.
Right, and for your company, your brand, I mean, that's a significant part of your business.
It is, yes it is, for sure it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all this is, again, behind all of the data and all that comes with it. I mean, any words of advice for buyers about how to best tackle that? How do I make sure I'm capturing all the data and really utilizing it? Words of advice for them?
I would say one thing is that hotel sourcing is not once a year. It is all the time, and you just need to be looking at the data all the time. Be talking to the travelers to know what's going on, and even just looking at a pre-trip report every few days, I really feel helps you have a good idea of what's going on.
Right, and a pulse of the changing needs of your travelers, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting, point or kind of phenomena of what's happened in a global economy, global marketplace. Companies needing to pivot. Certainly the speed at which they do is much quicker. But what comes with that is the demands in travel change too, and the traditional way that we looked at patterns has changed. But so you have to be flexible, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time and being part of the session, being part of the conference here. We certainly appreciate your support at GBTA.
Great. Thank you for having me today.
All right, Sherry, thank you. And I'm Mike McCormick, live from GBTA Studios here in Toronto.